Fox News alert. In the past few minutes, CIA Director John Ratcliffe issuing a brand new statement on Iran's nuclear program. He said, quote, CIA can confirm that a body of credible intelligence indicates Iran's nuclear program has been severely damaged by the recent targeted strikes. This includes new intelligence and a historically reliable and accurate source that several key Iranian facilities were destroyed and would have to be rebuilt over a course of years. And also new this hour, cabinet officials are set to brief the Senate on Thursday, the House on Friday, regarding the strikes in Iran. That comes as new satellite images show significant damage to Iran's nuclear sites. Also, the International Atomic Energy Agency says the Iranian nuclear program has been set back by years, not months, not what is reported by the New York Times and CNN, and have you believe, not months, but years. And that is sources within the Defense Intelligence Agency tell Fox that the report relied on by CNN and the New York Times was based on a single day's worth of intelligence. That's it. One day. And even if these facilities were not obliterated, the damage it caused was severe and significantly set back Iran's nuclear program. All right, joining me now is Deputy Director at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy's Non-Proliferation and Biodefense Program, Andrea Stricker. Andrea, thank you for being with us here today. We have these conflicting reports. I say conflicting, but it's getting somewhat overwhelming in terms of the IAE, the CIA, all saying that this was a very significant strike that set back Iran for years versus this one low-confidence report put out from the DIA, reported by the New York Times, rather leaked by the DIA, reported by the New York Times and CNN, that it was only setting back Iran's program by months. You're a nuclear expert. You've seen as much as we have seen publicly. What do you think? Was this a big strike against the nuclear capabilities of Iran?
Great to join you, Will. Thanks for having me. I think some in the media automatically suffer from a desire to cherry pick these day-old battle damage assessments that try to make the president look bad. And from my assessment, the Iranian nuclear program has been set back, I would say, up to 2 years. And I see that the CIA agrees with that, the IAEA and the White House. And I think we also need to look at what Israel is saying. They have some of the best intelligence, and they have in particular hit the weaponization capabilities of the regime. And so even if they have nuclear material on the loose, they likely can't weaponize it and make a bomb.
Let's talk together. Help us understand, if you would. I know you know this process very intimately. You understand it very well. The process of going from exactly what you said, from uranium, from material to a weapon. We've talked here on the show about what it means to enrich uranium, but that's only one step and one we focused on. There are many more, like turning processed enriched uranium into the metallic substance needed to make a nuclear weapon. The point is there are several different types of facilities, all choke points, are they not, in Iran's production process, and we just hit several of those steps along the way.
That's absolutely right. So the Israelis and the U.S. hit the Esfahan conversion facility. That's the step that you would take before going to enrichment. And now we've hit 3 enrichment facilities at Natanz and likely at Fordo. Even if Fordo is not crushed, it is likely inoperable for months to come and would require serious excavation efforts by the Iranians. And then the Israelis hit a uranium metal plant at Esfahan as well. And that's what you would use to make the atomic weapons material that goes in the core. And that's not to mention all the weaponization related sites, facilities, and scientists that are now out of commission.
Right. So this was an overall attack on numerous choke points and critical steps along the way to arriving at a nuclear weapon. And to see this report from the DIA, which was, my understanding, not just low confidence, but very narrow in its scope, perhaps only, as you mentioned, on Fordo being set back a couple of months, which they cannot know, by the way. You simply cannot know that, as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said, unless you have a very big shovel right now. In taking this picture into its entirety, that gives credibility what we're hearing from President Trump, the CIA, the Secretary of Defense, and what you've said here today as well, set back years.
Absolutely. I don't think the Iranians are going to be rushing to a bomb anytime soon. And we have to remember that their system is in complete upheaval. They probably don't have people that are able to even cobble together nuclear weapons. And we have to understand that Israel and the US have so penetrated Iran that they would likely see it and be able to take action to stop it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Andrea, for being with us here today. It's a greater understanding, as always, on this complex and important topic. Thank you.
Thank you.